This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions, Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and the drapes with the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom like the springtime flowers. Embrace the season and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com, use the code SHOW20 for 20% off plus free shipping. After using Manscaped, I can finally say I have caught the spring fever. Introducing the season's champ, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It also features dual LED spotlights to guide you through the darkest winter debris. Navigate with confidence in your delicate areas. Hate making a mess? Not to worry. This bad boy is waterproof. Shave in the shower, in the bath, in the ocean, anywhere you get wet. I love this thing because it comes with a compact case, and I take mine with me wherever I go. Spring cleaning doesn't just apply to the nether regions. Get the full grooming experience with Manscaped's signature Beard Hedger Pro Kit and Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up that neckline, these are always the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOW20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOW20 at manscaped.com. Nothing like a little spring cleaning in your pants. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the FM Show. I am, of course, your host, Tony Jameson. Joining me, as always, is my right-hand man, Aaron Falloon, a.k.a. RDF Tactics. But before we get to Aaron, we've got ourselves a guest, haven't we, Aaron?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Everyone, say hello to Jack Kenmare from SportBible, making his debut on the FM Show. Jack, how are you, buddy? Are you good?
Hi, fantastic, mate. Thanks for the warm welcome. I've been on your kids podcast.
Yeah.
Did you get a plug? Get a wee plug?
We could,
you never do that. You've never done that. You know what? I didn't actually know it was a thing, Jack. I swear to you, I didn't know it was a thing until like the second episode. I was like, one second, whoa. Yeah, you've never. And you know what? They used to always get onto me before as well. Make sure you tell them your YouTube. Make sure you tell them your Twitter, your Twitch, and he's never didn't even know about this podcast.
All right, okay. Right, in that case, then we'll do this, right? So, hello, welcome to the FM Show. By the way, I do another show as well, right? Okay,
sponsored.
I should probably do it at the end, shouldn't I? We've already lost viewers because there's a Manscaped advert at the start. But, right. Okay, so yes, I do a football shirt show with Cy Maggio called the Football Shirt Social, and it's basically we chat football kits. And Jack is like ourselves, massive into football kits. So we got him in to talk about that. But the plan was always to get you on here to talk about FM. Now, obviously, I've not given you your full official introduction. So what's your full official title at SportBible, mate?
Yeah, I'm the senior journalist at SportBible. I've worked my way up the ranks. And not doing too bad. Doing all right.
Doing all right. That seems very much like first teamer now, doesn't it, Aaron?
Exactly. He's now a mentor.
Oh yeah. Quite possible. It's quite possible. So what we'll do. So we'll do a bit of hellos first of all. Then we'll dive into some stuff. Because what's interesting at the minute is obviously not only the fact that Jack is a massive FM player. Obviously, well, I say obviously a lot, but obviously, if you know anything about what Jack does, he's interviewed probably the most famous football manager player of all time.
It's a big shout, that.
I think it is.
I think he's got to be. Yeah, he's got to be.
If you're making a Mount Rushmore of football manager and championship manager legends, if Freddy Adu's not on it, right, you're questioning the architect going, Howie, come on.
He's definitely,
yes, obviously.
Definitely top three. I think Tonton is there, Tonton Makuku. Freddie's got to be top three.
See, I think Tonton is the earlier
Yeah.
And then I think Makuku is like for now. So that, and I think Freddy Adu might just be in the middle between them. So it could be. Yeah, I think so. I'll go with Freddy.
Is he linking the generations? Do you reckon? Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, FM did get something right.
There you go. get some yellow lines between the two of them going on. That'll be quite nice. So yeah, so we'll talk about that, and obviously we'll talk about saves as well. But Aaron, how are you, man? How's life been treating you this week? What's happening?
It's
in your
brilliant.
world?
And so we're onto the football stickers, right? I don't know why. So I live in Gloucestershire, and it seems pretty impossible to find a shop that just sells stickers. So we always used to go to WH Smith, and then we went there on Friday, and the woman was just looking at us like, "You've literally just bought the last packet years ago," and they don't really restock that much. So we just gone up and down the town looking for stickers, and then
how much is a pack of stickers nowadays?
90p now. 90p. And there's only 5 now.
5 stickers.
Yeah, it's only 5.
That was the reaction, Jack. That was the reaction when we found out. It used to be 6 with 50 pence.
Yeah, it's
my word.
Scam. But yeah, we got into Marks and Spencer's, and then so I'm with their uncle, the kid's uncle was down from Poland. So we're just walking around Marks and Spencer's, and then I see a starter pack, which is the book again, but you get like 5 packets in there. So I'm looking at him, and this is a £5. So I'm looking at him thinking, this is a good deal. Because not only are we getting 5 packs, we're also getting a free book. But obviously, we just can't tell the missus. So instead, we went out to buy 1 packet. We ended up coming back with a new book, and then with 5 packets as well. So obviously, the little one's excited because he's now got somewhere to stick his doubles. But yeah, the missus was fuming. The missus, you're always spoiling him. He's like, I didn't even ask for this. I was like, yeah, this one was on me. This one was on me.
Oh, you gotta be doing it, man. Shout out to Marks and Spencer's, by the way, for stocking Euro stickers.
Yeah,
not the place I would have been expecting them to be. Yeah,
we was running out of options. Have
you seen the England side on the Euro stickers this year? Because obviously some of the licenses they haven't been able to get certain players because of licensing. So Luke Thomas, who's I think he's on loan at Middlesbrough at the moment. Sheffield United. He's in the team. Championship player. And there's a couple of odd selections as well. But Luke Thomas, he's in the sticker book this year. Maybe Gareth Southgate's going to go for him. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't tell me that, because now I'm thinking that sticker book's going to become valuable. So now I'm going to have to start doing the stickers. I was trying not to, but now you know for a fact in 20 years' time, everyone's going to be going, hey, has anyone got a sticker book with that lad who used to play for Middlesbrough and never even played with him? And he was in the England squad, apparently. And you'd be like, oh, if you've got one of them, they'd be worth an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
There's a few players who've missed out. I think maybe Foden, he's missed out. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, now I'm intrigued. I have to go and do this now. I'm going to buy it earlier than planned.
This now feels like, you know, those sort of like posts that come out on Facebook and Twitter of like, you know, when the sort of the quote unquote golden generation comes through, and it's like, what stops this team winning, you know, the titles? And it's like the lad who's clearly from the Championship who's never played, that guy right there, that's the one. But then in 20 years' time, they look back and go, do any of these players even play football anymore? But this was apparently the team that was going to win. Like, it feels like he's in there.
I feel like interviewing him. I think he'd be a really good interviewee. Like, how is he reacting to this news that he's in the Euro book? Like, it must be a bit surprising.
Yeah,
what's his name? Let's just write him down. Let's see.
Luke Thomas.
Luke Thomas. Okay, so I'm guessing he's not busy over the summer. So.
He was. I think he's at Leicester. He's on loan. He's on loan at either Middlesbrough or Sheffield United. I can't remember now.
Yeah, I think it is Middlesbrough. I think,
Yeah.
I don't think it's one of those ones in Football Manager, like, oh, he's there. Like, oh.
always comes back to FM.
It always does.
What I'd like is just like, again, the ways around the licensing to sort of have him as like almost like a new gen who just sort of crops up and he pops in, and then just have dubbed the new Phil, the next Phil Ford. Like,
the next Phil Ford.
That's who he's meant to be. All right, okay, got you. Excellent. I like that. Okay, that's already got my brain ticking there. Going God, I'm going to end up buying stickers. Aaron, I'm trying not to.
I know.
This feels like it's
It
exactly
gets
what I am
addictive,
doing.
don't it? It's just,
That's one of my biggest childhood memories, that collecting stickers as a kid.
Yeah, so it was mine. That's why I passed it on to it was for me. To be honest, I bought the book for myself. But it was that when I started seeing how he was engaging with it, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to... So when I first got it, I was like, first he wanted to peel it. I was like, no, you literally cannot touch the stickers. You can peel off the packet, but then you just can't touch it. And then when I saw how carefully he was peeling it, I was like, oh, okay, you might be ready. But now he's on it. He's very on it.
Love it.
I have a similar thing with my eldest, he's not into football stickers. He's not really massive into football, but with Pokemon cards. Now I never got Pokemon cards like that. Bypassed me. I was too old for that. But I've instantly done what Aaron's just done there, and he's opening up, and I'm like, hey, now don't go ripping them. Right? And it's like, oh, this is a shiny one. I was like, well, put that in a plastic wallet because you're not losing that one. Right? And I'm busy googling, going 25 quid, 80 quid. He's got one that's 200 quid. I'm like,
wow.
You know, so watch out for my new podcast about shiny Pokemon cards.
To be fair, these football cards and stickers go for quite a decent whack nowadays. Like, there's a guy on TikTok called Paolo Panini. Have you heard of him?
Yes. Yes.
So he opens like packs from the 90s, the noughties, and some of his honestly, Paolo Panini on TikTok, his reactions to getting things, and to be fair, they go for a decent amount of money. So.
There's other ones on
just hold on for a few packs. Just stash a few packs.
Oh yeah, you wish you did. Yeah.
As well, if you go onto Whatnot, which is like another sort of auction style site. Again, it's really good for football shirts, but they do like sort of football cards and stickers and packs and Pokemon cards and all that sort of stuff. And it's like a sort of live auction site. And there are people that are unboxing these like same things, like sort of Italian 90 stickers, or like Italian league from like 1990 and like the Premier League from 92 and 93. And it's like, I'm like sitting there going, well, I could buy a box of stickers, but
my early night is ruined. I'm a bit up to midnight just watching people unpack stuff now.
But there's part of me going, I could do that, but then I'm like, I'd get too obsessed. I get too into it.
Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah,
you know,
that's my thing. I'm gonna just leave it at FM. I'm too obsessed with FM. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I almost got into, and Jack, I think you might be with me in this one, right? Last summer, I was trying to look for a hobby, and this is, I guess, is kind of where the football shirt thing came from. I was like, I might start collecting football shirts. Part of me was considering trying to collect Subbuteo figures, and there's a Subbuteo account that follows me on Twitter. And I said, look, how doable is this? And they were just like, you will not get it done, and it will cost you thousands. And I was just like, okay, maybe not that then, but possibly that. And we went around a car boot, me and Mrs. J and the kids, and there was I'm gonna say immaculate, at least very good condition, World Cup 90, Italy and Argentina pack. The pitch was perfect. The goal nets were all nice. The balls were there. All the players were in there. And it was only 20 quid. And I was like, I should buy this. But this is the sign of the times, okay? It was cash only. And I had a tenner in my wallet.
Who brings cash around with it these days?
Exactly. Even at a car boot sale, I'm like, come on, have you not got like a little tapper thing? And he was like, no, it's like, I'm like, and I didn't want to say to the guy, oh, will you take a tenner? Because I knew that it was worth more than 20 quid anyway. So I was like, that is like a great price. I'm not going to insult them. But I was like, looking at going, and then like Mrs. J was like, do you want to go and get more cash? And I was like, no. Because I don't understand why I've got £10 in my wallet anyway. So I nearly did that. But I think what I need to do, I need to stop going backwards. That's my thing. I need to start looking forwards. But
I'm the same with nostalgia though. I'm a proper massive nostalgia merchant, honestly. It's quite embarrassing to be honest, but my TikTok feed is just nostalgia. I just in primary school we used to sing assembly songs, and all these assembly songs come up on my TikTok feed.
The Jesus Bangers playlist.
I get that with like, there's just certain things, so like a snack. Like I might walk past a snack in the shop. Like Nourishment is currently the one where I remember always drinking the Nourishment when I was younger. haven't had it for so long.
Yeah.
I see it and I'm like, I'm just gonna try it now. And I was like, every day I'm walking past the shop, nourishment, nourishment. And I do that sort of thing, but it doesn't really last long. Yeah, FM is the only thing that just stays constant every single day. Oh man,
the absolute staple in everyone's life. Right? Oh man. So if we go backwards, Jack, you know what? Right, we will go backwards. All right, let's get our nostalgia on now. Okay, we're on the old things were better back in the day train right now. Okay, when did you get into it? When did it all begin for you?
Championship manager 03, 04. I used to go to my cousin's house when I was a kid, and that was his first game as well. And there's something about that, the simplicity of it, that I love the 2D dots. I still play 2D dots now because, again, nostalgia. But yeah, 03, 04 was my introduction to it, and to this day. A name you mentioned before, Supat Rungratsamy, he's from that era. And that, like, people say, oh, my dream interview is Ronaldo, Messi. Yeah. Mine was Freddy Adu and Supat Rungratsamy. And I'm 6-7 years into my career. I've done it. I can't do anything else.
That's my goal.
But I'm trying to find the next one. I think... Yeah. I'd like to hear you two's thoughts on it, really. I don't know who my next interview is going to be. I'm thinking, have you heard of Carlos Fierro?
Oh, right.
You're
not. Funny you should mention that. It's funny you should mention that. Aaron is wind him up. He's going to go for the rest of the podcast now. Like the interesting thing is, before Aaron starts waxing lyrical about how amazing he was, I'd never heard of him.
Really?
Like, genuinely, he's one of these ones that I'd never come across because of the way that I play.
Yeah,
I'd never come across. And we did at Christmas. We did an episode where we listed some of our sort of like probably lesser known FM legends, but they were still pretty well known. And then on Patreon, shout out to the Patreon episode with myself, Aaron, Dupe, and Breezy. We went to town on that one, and there was loads and loads and loads of names in there. But yeah, Carlos, Aaron, this is your guy, right?
Ah, yes, my little Mexican. So actually, at the moment, I'm doing a save with Sparta Rotterdam in Netherlands, and I just had this weird. So my name is Aaron Vela in the game, so like, of course, Mexican. So we just got this weird transfer policy that we're just gonna buy Mexican players. Like, it's not only Mexican, but we're just gonna keep scouting Mexico and finding the next whatever's there. And then the second season, we got our youth intake. Somehow just got a Mexican there, just a random Mexican. And then we're like, his name is no longer Medina. It is definitely Carlos Vieira. Yeah, instant rename. But he's like talking about favorite saves. This was the guy, like the striker, guaranteed goals after goals after goals.
What FM was that? What version was it? FM 12 maybe?
Yeah, my memory with this sort of stuff is a bit.
There was another Mexican striker as well, wasn't there? There was Fierro.
There was quite a few, but Fierro was my favorite. Yeah. I think it's also like sometimes you kind of imagine the player, like even when you're watching the dots, you can just sort of feel the player move. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's so hard to explain, but he just stood out to everyone else. And it was like, it's weird because he doesn't start off great. And like he's attribute wise anyway, it doesn't start off great. And it's just the development as well, because you just know the development's just going to go oof. And yeah, he was a player, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Fierro, but I'm not sure his backstory's like interested enough.
Yeah. I think it was just like a wonder kid. Yeah.
So it's trying to find that balance.
Was he at the same time as Carlos Vela when he was coming through?
Yeah.
Is that where it was?
Very similar, yeah.
Around similar,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other mess.
I mean, Taribo's got to be up there, like as a
Taribo
chat.
West, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's got to be up there because he's obviously changed his life considerably from football and is now a pastor. Yeah. And I think he's got he had like a football academy for a little bit as well. Wow. So that would be quite an interesting story.
So he was a pastor?
A pastor, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. There's quite a bit on him if you have to get on and a bit online on Google with him. So he's properly changed his outlook, taking out football and going down the religious route. I know Mark Kerr's very open about things. He's again, that's we're talking proper old school one at this point. Some listeners going, "Who's Mark Kerr?" Because you're in your 20s, you won't know. But he was, of course, for our younger listeners, was in the original. He was in 0102 was when he was big, wasn't it? When he sort of broke through into the scene, and you'd get him from Falkirk for about 50 grand, and he was basically Zinedine Zidane. Okay, and he bossed everything and incredibly popular on the game, did great. Ended up becoming a manager in real life, and of course, I think might have even been SportBible, might have been ran stuff like loads of places like. Mark Kerr's now a football manager, and he's a football manager guy. This has got to be the thing. Like, so.
You know what? I think I wrote that article. I think it was in our little chat, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm having that one. I will write that one." But yeah, there's Mark. Have you heard of Tor Madeira? He was the made up player. I wrote an article on Tor Madeira. Obviously, he was created by this guy called Antonio Lopez, who was a scout.
I think I've read that, and that's when I found out. Oh, he wasn't a real player.
No, he wasn't a real player. So this scout just wanted to make the best player possible. He just put it in the game for a laugh, and he became the best player in the game. And I've always wanted to speak to him, like to get an insight of why he did it. But yeah, that'll be another good one.
I think the difficult thing with any of these conversations is. So you've mentioned there the backstory, first of all, has got to be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's also that thing of ultimately the story tends to end up sad. Like, exactly. There's no sort of like, you're going back and going, why did it not work out? Why was it not as we thought it was going to be? I think maybe a twist on that could be someone like Kim Kallstrom, who it worked out for, or Zlatan, who it worked out for.
I've done Zlatan.
You have to actually,
It's the big time. Jeez, I don't think I could contain myself as like, I would just be laughing the whole time, man.
So I met him in Salt. He was playing for United at the time.
Yeah,
he was promoting this mobile app. I can't remember. It was like some kind of Zlatan mobile app kind of thing. And I met him at this warehouse in Salford, and I've never been so nervous in my life. Because obviously you get this perception of him. He's very egotistical, very charismatic, very quite. He's a scary character, but he was the nicest guy. Chilled me out straight away. He was like, Jack, take that jacket off. I had this big waterproof jacket on, and he was like, take it off. Come on, get comfortable. I was like, this guy, he's such a nice guy. He's one of my favourites, yeah.
I like that. I like the fact that Zlatan's pretty chilled out. Like,
he's chilled out, yeah.
But then there's part of me like, but there is part of me that wants him to be Zlatan. Just like imagine that he's in charge of the whole situation. Like, keep the coat on. Get him wetter, make him colder. I
don't think he could tell he wasn't overly enthusiastic about Manchester in general. I think it's a bit rainy and it's a bit miserable. But yeah.
Oh my.
Okay, so if we're not going to do, we've already done Zlatan. We might do Kim Kallstrom, possibly.
Yeah.
Kennedy Barisholu.
I've tried him a couple of times.
Yeah.
Didn't get back. That's it. If you name somebody, I've probably tried. It's just. Yeah. I think, as you said though, it's a bit of a tough one because obviously. They've pretty much failed in their career. Not failed, but they didn't hit the heights of what was expected. So you can understand why it's difficult for them to open
tough,
up.
Isn't it? Yeah. Did you do Cherno?
No, because the thing with Cherno, he spoke to everybody.
He's not getting exclusive.
No,
because obviously again he's changed and he's obviously got the scouting and the soccer academies and stuff.
Yeah, he's got a good story to be fair. But no, I didn't do Cherno. I've done Mika Aritalo, the Finnish striker. He didn't speak to anybody before I got in touch. So he had like 300 followers on Instagram. So I thought, this could be a good one. He might be up for this. And eventually we spoke for about an hour and 20. He was spot on. Obviously he was Aston Villa when he was younger. But he never quite made it. I think homesickness was a big thing for him. But he spoke about Graham Taylor, who was at Villa at the time, the manager, and he full of praise for Graham Taylor. I've heard such good things from Taylor as well. But I think Mika was a good one. My favourite articles have got to be. Did you see the ones where I spoke to Neil Warnock and Sam Allardyce?
Yes, yes.
so
I mean, that's right up my street. Let's be honest. Like, technical masterminds for me, Sam Allardyce and Neil Warnock. Yes, please.
Yeah. So I gave Allardyce a 200 million budget to spend.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Now. Yes.
And he was so funny. Like, let me tell you who he bought with this 200 million budget. Right.
I'm making notes.
So I explained to him at the start of the interview, look, Sam, I'm going to simulate this on Football Manager. And he was like, eh? What are you on about? He didn't understand it in the slightest, but I was like, just say who you'd buy for Newcastle. Because at the time, a couple of years ago, I think everybody was being Newcastle.
Yeah.
Obviously had a big budget. So he went for Declan Rice for 95 million, which is fair. That was the respectable one. 95 million for Declan. And he went with Calvert-Lewin for 38 million, which was another decent one. And then he went off kilter a bit. And then he went Divock Origi. And he was waxing lyrically about Divock Origi. And then Seamus Coleman for 18.5 million. Another strange one. But obviously, he managed Seamus at Everton, and he was saying, he was a great captain. And in terms of winning, you need players with character, and Seamus brings that. And then finally, he went for, second to last one, Sam Johnson in nets from West Brom.
Yeah. I remember that one. I remember seeing that one.
And then finally, he went for Kurt Zouma. Big fan of Kurt Zouma was Sam. But then I obviously simulated all that, and he came 14th in the league, which is pretty cool.
At what point was Sam looking for a new job during that simulated season?
and guess what tactic he used?
He's got to go good 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he's got.
Did he apply for his own job towards the end of the season to keep in the league? Just, I can do this job. You got us in this mess.
Oh, bless him. He only had one game as England manager, didn't he?
Yeah, 100% record though.
True.
Yeah, so yeah.
And I gave Neil the England job ahead of the 2022 World Cup. He was fantastic, Neil Warnock. Honestly, I could have spoken to him for hours. But Neil. Yeah, he was pretty sensible with all his picks, but the one that got people talking was Dan Burn. That was the one, because at the time Dan Burn wasn't really doing much, to be honest. But
he had the vision.
He had the vision.
Coach had the vision.
That
is sort of my dream thing, though. Like I've always had this thing of like, I just want to see a real life football manager create a tactic in football. Like that is literally like my dream thing.
Who would you pick? Who would you like to have?
Do you know?
If you could do a video with him as well.
Be Wenger, surely. For you, Aaron, you've got to be in the room with Wenger.
Yeah, but I think with Wenger, I want to talk to him a lot about different things. I told you already, I remember I told you about I can't even go to a shop, and like before I couldn't go to a shop and spend over £1 because I'm like such as wheeler and dealer, but that was instilled in me because of Arsene Wenger. So I'm always looking for like, you go Lidl's and people like, I'm getting the Snickers. I'm like, I'm just going to get the Lidl's version because it's literally half the price. So I was always that French sort of person. Yeah. So I was always that sort of person. So I would have like a long conversation. But if it's just purely tactics, I don't know. I think I might just be boring and say Pep Guardiola. And that's the only reason was for that is because I like to say an argument with someone in the comment section on YouTube. And it was talking about how Pep Guardiola was set up. And it was like, yeah, but if Pep Guardiola was playing Football Manager, I was like, I can't believe this conversation is going down this route. I can't believe it. If Pep played Football Manager. But then it started to make me intrigued, like, if Pep was actually behind the mouse, how would he like recreate his own vision of the game in the thing? Like, obviously, but it's going to be difficult because we would have to sort of explain certain things and how certain things work. But I just want to see him. I just want to see a manager behind him. But it's weird because obviously football managers must know somewhat about the game. Obviously, as we've seen some coaches use it in their team meetings or whatever.
Will Still.
Yeah.
That was one of my first. Will Still, I got in touch with him in 2022. He was the assistant at Rems at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'd read up on him because he went to Myerscough College in Preston.
Okay.
And it's quite near to me. And I was like, how did this guy go from Myerscough College to, working in Belgium and then Rems? And I think a month previously, he'd managed against Messi because Oscar Garcia, their manager, was suspended for a game. So Will Still went in as their first team manager. And that got me intrigued. But we eventually got talking about FM. And then obviously the FM meme stuff came out. I felt a bit bad because eventually he said, I'm sick of the football manager stuff. I don't want to be related to that. And I was like, that's my fault.
This is the problem though, isn't it? Because you do get that, like for yourself, it's great. Like it's a fantastic, like you get the click straight through. People are like, what the hell is this? Like, and they're reading.
Yeah.
But yeah, Will's obviously getting a bit of he's the football manager guy, like, and you've got to then deal with that. But then just to bypass the rest of the story and go like, all we know is he plays football manager and now he's a manager. And it's no. You read the rest of it? No.
Exactly. When the story's actually good as well. Like, he's actually got a nice story as well.
It's such a good story.
Yeah. Inspiring as well. Like if you're someone that's just starting out or whatever, it's actually inspiring as well. So, but again, it's that social media stuff. It is that social media stuff.
Yeah. Who would you have then, Jack? Who would you sit around with and talk tactics with if you had the chance?
Do you know, I've tried to get in touch with Gundogan because Gundogan plays a lot of FM.
Okay. Let's read back.
Yeah, I've tried to get in touch with Gundogan, but I don't think he's keen. Well, his agency doesn't seem very keen on the idea, but I think it'd be really interesting to see how he sets up, because obviously he wants to be a manager as well, so I'd like to see how he sets up.
See, that's what now I'm thinking Xhaka. So now I'm thinking Granit Xhaka, because I remember Xhaka and El Nene, especially them two, doing their youth thing and then they're working with the Arsenal youth thing. You can see them going into their coaching and stuff. So you want to sort of catch them before, because I remember actually Arteta scored a goal, and then I don't know why the Arsenal commentator had this instinct where it's like, Arteta's going to be a fantastic coach one day, and it's like, oh well, now we're here, and I want to be the next guy to catch someone. So I would like to get Granit Xhaka or El Nene now.
Okay.
Maybe it's Granit Xhaka. I'm not 100% sold on El Nene, but the tactical mind of El Nene. But Granit Xhaka 100%.
I think manager-wise,
just won a title, hasn't he? So
he's
a player. So
but it's just where they talk as well.
Manager-wise, I'd like Tony Pulis. Just be so funny, wouldn't it?
Funny,
see what he does.
I took a week next to Tony Pulis once. I didn't talk tactics with him, but we didn't have that long. It was at the LMA Awards, so there you go. Just
that's a big flex. That's a big flex.
It's all right, isn't it? I'm about to bring it back down though, because I would talk. I think my actually, I tell you what, I'm gonna bring it back down. So right there, Tony Pulis, LMA Awards, brilliant. Hey Tony, that's quite cool. I bet you spoke to loads of other managers. Yeah, I once did a show with Joe Royle, and I spent the show saying that I wanted to be him because all his achievements are real and all mine are in Football Manager. And that's how...
Love that.
Oh my god!
So Joe, what was Joe Royle doing? Was he doing like a? What was he?
He was doing like an after dinner, and then I was stupidly booked to be the comedian, which is never a good idea. Because I used to get this thing. So we say there about like sort of Will Still getting the Football Manager albatross around his neck. Like I got it to a teeny tiny amount, like compared to that. So because I did Football Manager stand up, I got sort of like people go, "Oh, here's a Football Manager doing an after dinner. You'd be great for this." And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. But hey, I like money. So I'm willing to go on, listen to those stories, and then die on my backside straight after it for half an hour. They were awful. They were horrible, horrible gigs. It's not for me.
Really?
Like there's a skill required to play those gigs, and I didn't have it. And I was just like, look, this is a bad idea. And they're like, no, it'll be fine. I was like, Football Manager is like a video game, right? And they went, it's about football. I was like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. But I'd like to sit and go one-on-one with Mourinho, personally.
Mourinho.
Yeah. Yeah, because even on FM, I'm a bit pragmatic. I try and play it a little bit safe, and I like to be controlled and have the ball and not try and like sort of give away silly goals and then look to pounce. That's what I'd be trying to do. So yeah, I'd like to sit with Mourinho and see if I can learn some stuff from him there, because I'd love for him to just go, "This is all bullshit." And I'd be like,
He's not really. This game is not really.
Yeah, I just love to see him just go off on one about how it's nonsense.
Also, imagine him having a game rage. Like I can literally imagine him. Things are not going well on FM, and it's just him losing his head behind the computer.
Like I can imagine Arteta sat there with you, Aaron, right, and going, "Oh yeah, interesting." Like, actually, if you, all right, so this guy has to do this, right? Well, what I would do is I'd do it, and he'd do like a proper coach's voice with you, and And, and Jack again with totally pureless, he'd be sitting there going, "Oh, none of this newfangled stuff for me." And I'd be sat with Mourinho, who would just be booting the laptop, just like, he'd be screaming when he gets FM. It'll be amazing. He'd get a touchline ban just by like this little experiment.
There's definitely a series in that though. I'd love to see either footballers or managers play an FM and how they go about it.
No, it is like, I'll be real as well. We've had championship players as well. So Connor Washington was one as well. Yeah. And some of them are open to it. I'm not like, the thing is with me, like I got into this content creating, but just creating tactics, and that's sort of like, I wouldn't say that's all I know, but like when I got, so Connor Washington first started, he's like, yeah, I'm up for it. And then like, that's where my head just went blank. I was like, how are we going to do it? We're going to do this? That's my head just went blank. And then, but it is something I always think about doing all the time. And it is, it's intriguing as well. And it's kind of bridging the gap a little bit as well, because there was like this, I mean, Football Manager is not real, obviously, but there's always this thing is like, it's not real, but there is, I wouldn't say there's going to be like transferable skills, like, okay, because you could do a tactic here, you could do it in real life, whatever, but there is some things that you can take from the game, obviously, like the real life game, and sort of implement in real life, and vice versa as well, because we've had scouts come on this show, and I know scouts as well, and analysts who all started out with Football Manager, blogging Football Manager, and because of the way that they were presenting their work, obviously it led them into actual real football as well. There's actually quite a few of those sort of people in the footballing world now, so there is sort of a gap there that people can sort of learn from as well.
Yeah,
I think it is. I think it's like you say, it's part of a tool, isn't it? Like even little things like, as daft as it sounds, you could technically go into an office job that's talking about spreadsheets and data. And if you were to use an example about how you use spreadsheets and data on a day-to-day basis, and your example is, well, I've got this video game, right? And what I do is on my transfers, I work out all the players I've got and who's actually worth selling and buying. And I've done, have you seen Moneyball? Have you seen the film Moneyball? I do that, but on this, right? And I've got all my expected assists and expected goals, and my passes and my progressive passes and all that sort of stuff. And I've done a pivot table. I have, right? And then if you get the job based on the amount of day-to-day work we do with spreadsheets and data, fair play.
But I did tell you though, remember when I was the performance analyst at Cheltenham Town Ladies, and it was like, so I went and my first day was supposed to be talking to them, but this like, they just threw me into the things. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a test, but I also think because the person that got me the job in the first place, I think because his reference of me was like good. I just think the managers had the full trust in him, and so it was like the first day. I just thought I was coming in. It's like, yeah, come into the changing room. But bear in mind, this is my first experience in like this sort of environment, so my heart was just like pumping. I could hear the music just pumping loud, and it's like they're doing a team talk, and then she just went out. Oh yeah, this is Aaron, by the way. Blah blah blah. They went out. Halftime comes in, and they're like, oh yeah, Aaron, what do you think? But this is like literally halftime in their team talk, and I'm like, so I was like, so you know the fullback. I noticed the fullback always left her position. I was like, well, yeah, so now you can start moving into the channels, and the inside forward can start moving into the channels. But it was just like Football Manager language.
I thought you were going to throw the bottle.
It was all, but I was like using Football Manager language, but it was weird. It was weird in how they understood literally majority. Like, it wasn't like, what is this guy saying? It was like they just understood, they kind of knew, obviously, like my language is a bit not up to scratch with theirs. But yeah, it was quite funny though. It was quite funny. It was sort of like fake it till you make it. It was like, yeah, what do you think? I was like, I am not prepared for this at all.
I recently spoke to a guy who spent 8% of his life playing FM. This Icelandic guy called Ori Thorson. So he was hired by an Icelandic third division team. They'd just been relegated. They've been relegated twice in a row. Yes. And they give him the job because he sent over his CV. He said, "Oh, I've played all this Football Manager, like a stupid amount of hours, even worse than me." And they said, "Okay, we trust you." So he's I'm not sure how he's doing at the moment, but I think I spoke to him 3 or 4 games into the season, and he was doing pretty well. So 8% of your life on FM, though, that is impressive, isn't it?
I want to know what my number is, because like that is generally shocking.
How many hours have you done this year? Used to. I haven't done that many.
I don't come off the game. That's the thing. Like, I don't come off the game, and it's like, obviously, so I got kids, and so my day will be like creating a video or working on a video. Yeah. But if I'm not, it will be like I'm with the kids, and when the kids are gone, I'm back on the game doing a save, and it's just like that all day. And it's just like go downstairs or do whatever I'm doing, come back just on the save. But the save is always on as well. So it's like it's very difficult to tell.
What job did you do before this?
Working in retail.
Did you?
Calling them saying I've got to go home because I've got diarrhea to go home and play my cup.
Wow.
Like, this is but like, so like sometimes I really want to be open, but at the same time I'm aware it's gonna come across incredibly sad. But people always wonder, why are you so passionate about the game, and why, even when it comes to like, so you've got this thing about bug reporting, and it's where you have the opportunity, if you spot a bug in Football Manager, you can go and report it. And it's like, why are you so passionate about these things? I was like, it's just so difficult to explain without making me sound like a total loser. But it's I'm talking from the moment I started playing the game. So this was school, and it's literally, I would say affected my whole, it's literally a part of my life. Like, my friends you can't think about me and not think about Football Manager sort of thing. It's generally really bad. But it got to a point where, like, geography in school, I was good, because when it comes to the flags and the capitals, it's like, I know that one. People like, even the missus, like, how do you know that? I was like, the game that you keep telling me to get off. That sort of thing, yeah. But it is generally bad. I'm talking like bunk in school to play Football Manager, bad.
Yeah.
Like, multiple times a week, bad. It was really bad.
You've made it into a job, so fair play. You know,
that's the sort of thing now, isn't it? And it's like going back to now, like when you go to family reunions or whatever it is, and people ask, "What do you do now?" And it's like, well. But that's like, because my uncle and he saw me do work with scouting with Dynamo Tbilisi. So it was all like, oh yeah, congratulations. Like, yeah, do you know where all of this come from? It all started from that game that you kept telling me to get off. But yeah, it's sort of a nice feeling, but at the same time, it is a bit. And then some weeks I'm like, you know what, I'm just not going to try and open it. But the more I tell myself I'm not going to open it and play it, it's the worse it gets. And then I start watching other people play it, which doesn't help.
I think it's an odd thing, isn't it? Because like trying to explain to people, like trying to explain streaming to people, or like making videos, like people pay to watch you play Football Manager. Yeah, weird, isn't it? Like,
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Like I remember even doing the stand-up show, and it's like I remember we did venues where sort of like people were sort of going, oh, there's like 100 lads in there. I was like, yeah, there will be. Yeah, it'll be fine. Like, don't worry. And they're like, is it not a bit rowdy? I was like, it will not be rowdy. I can guarantee it will be rowdy. we did the Fringe, and the venue went, oh, there's a stag do wants to come in, like in the middle of the afternoon show. A stag do wants to come in. I was like, if they're coming here, that's fine. They're going to the Games Workshop straight after this, right? So let them in. Oh, it's just crazy though to think. Because maybe we forget just how big this game is. Like so, Jack, like when you started writing, okay, and you started like sort of getting into that and going, right, okay, this is what my life is going to be, journalism.
Yeah.
At what point did you say to SportBible, I've got this story about Football Manager, right? I reckon that'll do. And they're like, hang on, we're trying to be serious around here. You're like, no, but honestly, it'll be great. Yeah. Like, how do you even approach that conversation?
it's funny. Like I feel like I've built this community on the SportBible just website.
Yeah,
because I try and get like one or two Football Manager related stories out a month, and they always do really well. But yeah, it's going back to what you said. I think they're just seeing the numbers it got, and they're seeing that, because I think the beauty of the FM community is that we're so engaged. Like, we're very positive people as well. And I always say to the lads at work, like, if you look at the FIFA community and the FM community, I think they're very different. But all our posts related to FM, I always get loads of comments, loads of likes, loads of shares, always positive. So just kept that going, really. And I think with our community, I think there's a lot of people my age, so late 20s, early 30s, going maybe even 40s, and they like that nostalgic hit. And I like that nostalgic hit. So, it's nice. It's nice to combine that, and I try and give them that FM content regularly, and I love it.
So how did you manage to sort of tweak it then from going from the kind of like clickbaity early stuff of like, oh, this is the most weird thing that's happened on FM, or isn't this guy odd because he's done this and this, to now getting into like the proper articles and interviews where you've got Freddy Adu sat, like, who doesn't talk to many people, and all of a sudden he's now happy to sit and talk FM. Like, how did that sort of process happen? I mean, obviously it's not an overnight thing, it's got to be a gradual shift.
Definitely. It was definitely a long time in the making, because the first couple of years it was difficult. We didn't have that many followers, and it was slow and steady. But I think once these people realise that, you've got a decent following, but also I like to get across that, it's going to be a positive piece as well. A lot of people are going to relate to this. Yeah. It's not going to be slagging you off. Like, I'm not going to do that. I want to try and, be genuine and I think building them relationships, because as I say, a lot of them people you mentioned in the past, like Freddy Adu, maybe not Freddy Adu, but Supat, Mika Aratalo, you have to build that relationship first. You have to get to know them for a bit, because they won't say yes straight away. They don't. Because they don't trust you, to be honest. So like Supat, for example, I spoke to him for about 2 months before the interview. So I was like, not every day, obviously, but getting to know him, like building that trust, and then he's like, okay, I trust you enough now to speak to me. I think that's really important. But as I said, as the years have gone on, I've managed to get bigger names because of basically the following we've got. So last couple of weeks ago, I spoke to Jordi Amat, who's now a prince in Indonesia. Again, he doesn't do any interviews, but he's realised, I've got the pulling power of our Instagram. We've got like 7.8 million followers.
You say pulling power, I don't know. I think it's the quality of the content. I think
there is that, isn't it? You don't get the followers.
There's going to be a lot of people. There's other people that's going to have the numbering. But again, you're talking about that trust, and a lot of people might not even go through that effort. They might just ask you, are you up for this? They say no, and then that's it. But you are willing to build that trust.
Exactly.
Also, and then the quality of the content as well is why, personally, I think, and that's why your community also read as well. It has to be like, I don't think, obviously you're not going to say, my content's quality, but that is also.
I think I've got like a big blog as well. I've built like a big blog of all my features. I always send that across to them just to get like a flavour of what I do. I won't be slagging you off. I'll be, really building that foundation. But it's, as I say, FM is my deal. I love FM. that will continue for a long time to come.
Very quick one while the show's on. I want to talk a little bit about Patreon, because some of you might be thinking, why do we sign up for Patreon? Should we sign up for Patreon? Well, I'll tell you what. How's about this, right? If you consider signing up for Patreon, there's tiers between £3, £5 and £10 a month. You will get early access to all these public episodes. They're normally out on a Thursday. You get them at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. So that's over 24 hours in advance. You also get an extra bonus episode every single Monday that is exclusive to Patreon. It won't be seen anywhere else. and it'll be with myself, maybe like an FM creator. It could be a musician, a footballer, a journalist. It could be anybody. We've done some special shows in there as well. We've done started doing a watch along with Second Yellow Card as we watched Goal 3. Spoiler alert, it's dreadful. That's on there. There's the Insomnia Gaming Festival show. That's on there. There's the Christmas special show, which has got Dupe and Breezy and RDF and myself going through some Football Manager legends. We've got other watch-alongs planned as well. We've got some special ideas. And of course, as part of Patreon, you can suggest those ideas as well. And if they're good, we might start making them. So you got that. Plus, of course, you can send us your tactics for the Tactics Garage. And there's even a tier, which means that we will help save your save. So if you're really struggling and you need a little bit of TJ or probably more likely RDF Tactics love and making sure your save works perfectly, then get signed up to Patreon, patreon.com/the FM Show Pod. And of course, if you have already signed up, we appreciate your support so much. It means the world to us, and it really helps get the show growing, and it means we can do some cool things. So thank you very much. If you can afford to support, patreon.com/the FM Show Pod. Back to the show. And I think that's what shines through, because like we've noticed as well, like anyone who gets into this space, you know, in whatever format it is, whether it's podcasting, whether it's journalism, whether it's blogging, whether it's YouTube, whether it's streaming, if you don't feel it and you don't believe it, and you can tell straight away when someone's bullshitting. Like, that you switch this on, you know that me and Aaron are lifers. You know that you're a lifer, Jack. You know what I mean? It's not like going like, oh, someone's picking up, going, hey, this person's picked this game like 2 years ago, and he's saying it's the greatest thing he's ever played. Like, people can tell there's an authenticity with it. And I think that when you get over that barrier, I noticed this with the stand-up show. When I was trying to write it and put it together, I needed that show, not necessarily, as weird as it sounds, it didn't need to be funny initially. It needed to be relatable first of all.
Yeah.
So I had to get the audience on side to go, right, he's not going to, as you say there, he's not going to take the piss out of people playing Football Manager and Champ Manager. I need to be able to say to them, I've played this game for this amount of time, and I can tell you I've played this game for this amount of time because of X, Y, and Z that I'm about to talk about. These little jokes I'll just litter through it that will remind you that I'm genuine. And all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, he's one of us. And then I'll say, oh, and I've done this silly thing. And they're like, yeah, we've done that. And then all of a sudden the trust is there, and 90 minutes has passed. We've all had a lovely time.
Yeah. Have you got a new stand-up show, Tony? Or are you...
We have discussed it. Because it's now, I think it's now 11 years since the first ever stand-up show. You can see behind me there on the wall. There. That's the tour poster. So we did talk about going back to it and trying to do it again. Because obviously a lot of times past, things are different. The story itself that we initially had with Blythe Spartans is in the past. We've now started creating new stories with like link ups with actual clubs. Like obviously streamers brought a different thing in. The podcast, these kind of like conversations has been brilliant to talk about. So I have kind of thought that maybe we go back and do something with it. But I'm now trying to work out, have I rang all the jokes out of FM at this point? But then I'm sure you can get something else. It would just be it would be a different way of doing it. But I think because I've already got that show, I'd be starting right from scratch again. And I could do it, and I'm sure, without wanting to prompt comments and try and stroke my ego, but I mean, there'd be an audience for it, right? Wouldn't there?
Yeah, like, definitely.
Feel free to comment below if this is.
I think so. Like I'm the same though, because I'm from a music background as well, and it's like forever I've been thinking like I'm gonna do a Football Manager song. For me, it was always about the right timing of it as well. But in my head, I've always had this thing like, okay, I know people are going to listen to it. They're going to be intrigued. But at the same time, with me, it's got to be quality first as well. Right. I think with that sort of thing, it's got to be quality first.
Just going to write down.
Absolutely funny about it.
Please mention Carlos Fierro in your song.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I'm just going to write down. This is so you can chalk this in the calendar. Right? Okay, write down. The first joke that was written of the brand new Football Manager stand-up show was, I know someone who wrote their own FA Cup final song. right? And his name is RDF Tactics. But it's funny you should mention the idea of it, though, because I thought about it today and linking it with the live podcast as well. So we could do the show and then have the podcast afterwards and sort of double it up. Because what I realized was doing the stand-up show, as you'll have realized yourself, Jack, with your work, people love to tell you their tales. They love to tell you their stories. And it's not about me. And again, apologies if I've mentioned this a few times on the show before, but as a comedian, when you're talking to audience members, I think people naturally think you're going to take the mick out of them and sort of make them the butt of the joke. I was always very much, whenever I was on the show, I was going, look, if I talk to you, it's a genuine interest, right? There was like no one is going to be belittled here. Tell me about your save. Tell me where you're going to go, and we will essentially we'll use that as the story. And if they've got great remarks, they've got great remarks. And there's one thing that's actually in the show where I said, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And he stood up and he said, "He's the Ajax manager." And I was like, "Bravo!"
Love that.
Just gave him that moment, and then his mate was like, "I'm his assistant." I was like, "There we go." Done.
I think that's it. Like, that's my Facebook job title, actually.
That's your Facebook job title.
Yeah.
As you said, Tony, people love to talk about their saves or their regens. Like the regen thing for me is just, I don't know, that building a connection with your regen. Nobody else is going to build that connection but you. Look at this. I've got my Stockport 2042 save framed. Yeah, it's framed. It's in the kitchen at the moment, and the wife is not happy, but I don't care.
Is she not happy because you've taken it down to show us on screen, or because it's not there in the first place?
She's just not happy with it in general. But like every time we eat dinner, we just look up and there is Carlos Dux on the wing and Gabriel up front. It's just a thing of beauty. She doesn't appreciate it, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: you can talk to anybody who's played this game, and they instantly will remember that one save. Like it just goes back instantly. Like we mentioned about the Blythe Spartans thing with the show. So there's an interesting moment which I don't know who I've told this to. Maybe not a few people, but we actually did the show at Blythe Spartans as well. And that's what's in the FM documentary. You know, the FM documentary that's made. So all the live stuff is done actually in the clubhouse at Blythe Spartans. And there's like sort of bits of me on the pitch and that beforehand. And at the end of it, the chairman, who's literally like this week, signed off on the club. He'd been the chairman for like 20 years or whatever, 25 years. He's handed it over now. But he was at the show. And at the end of it, he comes up and he goes, finish it off, and he goes, "Were you the guy that applied for the job?" I went, "Yep." Love it.
Oh my God. Oh, God.
It was just this beautiful moment of him, because obviously it's in the show and I'm explaining it, and it's just like this moment of him going, "Oh my God, fucking hell, he was real."
Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
Oh, so what's the daftest thing you've heard then, Jack? Come on, you must have an absolute hard drive full of suggestions.
Let me go on the Football Manager. We've got like a Football Manager section on our website now because it's so popular.
Link in the description. Don't worry.
Honestly, I've done so many stories in the past, like community-wise. Here's one. Man signs Everton youngster Katia Kuyate on Football Manager, then meets him in Subway the next day.
Oh, yes, I remember reading that one. I was thinking, that just met the Everton guy, right?
Yeah.
I remember reading
man.
I was thinking, that is mental. Oh, my God.
What are the chances? Oh, man.
Because the reason why I thought that was crazy, because I'm pretty sure you need the face pack as well to even know what he looks like. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's like 17 years old in the academy.
You
how would you spot him?
You need the face pack.
But then the funny thing with that one, so Katia Kuyate seen the story, And I was in touch with him. I said, "Oh, you should do something with this kid. I think he really loved meeting you." And so he got a match-worn shirt, signed it, and then the next, I think it was a couple of days after, he presented it in the college with this young kid. Got the photo, and it went viral on Twitter. Honestly,
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's amazing, man.
Here's another one. I hired my neighbour as my assistant manager on Football Manager.
What? My neighbour hates me.
Honestly, I don't know how I find these things. I just proper scroll Reddit, and I'm on all the Facebook pages. I just try and find these weird stories. But yeah,
my assistant. That's bonkers.
Sylvia from Indonesia.
We struggle to get together to try and get a network save going on.
That's what I'm going to say. That's bonkers.
But yeah, that one.
No,
it was a lass from Indonesia. She lived next door to former Bali United manager Indra Sujafari.
That's cheating then. That's cheating if you get an actual manager.
Yeah, it's pretty mental.
Yeah,
I remember now. Some of the stuff here, man.
I do remember now. So I grew up in the council estate, so my cousin lived in the same estate, but it was the same thing. So but I was younger cousin, so it was like, so you know when you want to play a game and you want a friend to play with you, sort of thing, but you don't want your friend to beat you. Like he wasn't scared of me, but because Football Manager was like his game as well, and it's like his single player game, but he wanted. Sometimes you just want company, and you also want eyes on what you're doing, innit? Like when you're accomplishing these things, like, oh, I wish all my friends could see this. So he used to call me over to manage his bloody under 18 team. At this time, I'm young. So I'm just like, I'm happy to be around older cousins. So I'm just running over to his house. So if he's under 18 manager, don't even get to touch the mouse, by the way. I'm literally just sitting in the chair next to him, just having to watch. And I'm just like, yeah, play him there. And he's like, no. I'm just like, why am I here?
Love that. Do you want any more? Do you want any more?
We need more. Yeah, we need more.
Right. I think you might have seen this video. It was all over. Man makes his family watch Champions League final on Football Manager in his living room.
Yes, I did.
Yes, that's heartbreaking. That one was heartbreaking.
Yeah, he lost.
I felt for him.
He lost as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost. He lost. Fair play for not like redoing it and just say something.
You can't.
Imagine just mum, dad, just sit there again.
Oh, sorry. Laptop froze.
Going through a tunnel, bye.
This was a good one. Man has framed shirt dedicated to Football Manager New Gen in his living room. That was a good one.
That could be a few people. I know a few people like that.
That's money, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Tom Woody was called. Yeah, he's nice. He was a dead nice fella. What else have we got here? Football fan. This was a big one. I remember this was got a lot of shares. This one. Football Manager fan sets off flare in his bedroom after winning the league. Yeah, got some quotes from him. Jamie Towers.
Honest to truth, I think we're not too far off doing one of these things in our stream. Honestly, man.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel I'm not too far off.
There was one that went in the Football Manager book as well, where someone had set fire to a waste paper bin because they were managing in Turkey to make it look like a flare.
Wow.
No. Yeah, I just remember because the Everton one where like last year we won the Champions League. I remember that stream like so clear, and it was like I was just going mental in this room, like this chair just getting thrown about. Because it was like, when Football Manager does this thing, like you're winning when it's getting to like the 80th minute, and then all of a sudden it's just like highlight them, and it's like you're just against it. So I'm like, literally, I got off the chair, I'm hiding behind the chair, like just poking my head through, waiting for the time, and then it's like 94th minute. So I got up celebrating, I see a highlight load, so I'm like, oh my days. And then it happened that we counted, and we was on our attack, we missed. But I just remember going absolute mental in my room, just like throwing things. Because it was my first time winning the Champions League live, like in front of people as well. And it was with Everton out of all teams
Oh, man. Honestly, this is another one of my favourites. A man from Barcelona had a stag weekend to remember when he visited the home of National League North side, Alfreton Town, who even made him mascot for the day. You just imagine this bloke. I think he was a 34-year-old bloke called Cristobal. Was introduced to the 6th tier side more than a decade ago when he decided to take the reins at the Derbyshire-based club on popular game Football Manager. So yeah, he was the mascot. He was literally with the captain and everything. Oh my word!
But you know what? That's the cool bit, right? Like this is when clubs lean into it. I love that. Yeah. The legitimacy that we all want.
I love that.
We all want the club to acknowledge our existence, that what we're doing is fine. And they don't judge us either.
Well,
but
the team that I play for now, how did I sign up for that team?
Yeah.
You remember? So I wanted to do this like tier 11, 12 to the Premier League. So I picked my most local side. And it was like, because there's quite a few. So I remember being on Twitter and it was like, we need to pick one. And we had 1 out of 2. So we checked one. It was like, oh, they're following us already. We might, that was automatically them. So we started being them. And then the players started coming in the chat. And then it was like, yeah, come and watch us play. Went and watched them play. Then it got to come and watch us train. Then it was bring your boots next time.
What was the team?
Smith's Barometrics. Like, the name is a bit, I didn't think it's like, I'm not sure this is a football team. But yeah, Smith's Barometrics. They're like the tier 12, I think. Tier 12, yeah. But I play for their B team, yeah. Goalkeeper, their B team. I
love that.
It was amazing. It all started from Football Manager. Got me out of my retirement.
I love that. It's just these little stories like I buzz off so much. Like how a game of Football Manager helped man win bet on real life match between Cork and Athlone. Just
is he claiming he's got a sports almanac? This is back to the future. This is
don't be doing that to me.
Oh, Manscaped have written Johnny Be Good.
Do you remember that Andros Townsend one with his girlfriend? Have you seen that?
Oh yes,
screenshot. I haven't seen this one.
Have you not? So Andros Townsend's girlfriend, it was Hazel. She was on Big Brother. So she must have seen a screenshot on her Twitter feed of Andros Townsend gets banned from training. Like, what was it? No, he'd been. So basically, the screenshot said he'd been fined from training.
Oh, fined, yeah.
So Hazel sent that to Andros's WhatsApp, and Andros was like, "Hazel, this is Football Manager." Because she was like really worried. I think what did she say?
Where have you been? What's wrong?
Yes, that's what I thought. Imagine it was absent. Oh, that could have caused some issues. You said you was at training.
Oh, here we go. She messaged him saying, "When did you get fired for not showing up to training?" Shock emoji. Just saw on Twitter. Huh? I got fined. Show me. And then she sent a picture of the. And she was like, "Maybe it's a joke, is it?" Ha ha ha! Are you joking? I love that.
The lines are blurred. There's no lines anymore now.
Those stories are amazing.
As I said before, that's the difference between the FM community and the FIFA community. You don't really see them stories.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah, if ever.
It's the ability to laugh at yourself, isn't it? That's the thing. Like, you know that it's ridiculous. Like, obviously in the stand-up show, I had things like saying like I'm booking up an open top bus with the laptop to celebrate, and like
Tony, I interviewed you. I think it was like 20. That was like 2017, 2018. I think one of my first interviews was Tony Jameson. I was like, how things turn out. Yeah.
I know. And all that was weird as well, because I didn't understand that anyone was even going to come to see the show. And then I've got yourself sort of like sending me emails and DMs going like, "Do you want to chat about it?" I'm just like, yeah, why not? But I don't know what you want from me.
And again, remember we had a scout come on, and he was like Dynamo Tbilisi, and it was that same thing. It was like because he was talking about how he got into it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm really interested in blah 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 blah." And then I remember receiving a message from their head scout, and it was the same reaction. Like I was like me, like, you do know I've only played FM. There's just no previous experience, and they're like, "Yeah, we know." I'm like, "Well, goddamn, let's get it." But yeah, it's amazing, man. It's weird. Like, it's true though. Like, FIFA don't have these sort of stories, and this is how out of touch I am. So we're starting getting into Football Manager content. I remember like seeing. There's always going to be people complaining here and there. There's always going to be some sort of drama. But I just remember seeing it in the Football Manager. I remember like, wow, this place is so toxic, man. I can't believe it. And then as I started gaming and I started doing pro clubs on FIFA, and I was like, oh, whoa, this is horrible. And it's like people would like fully make a whole hour video of them literally just having a full meltdown about FIFA, and you could just read all the comments and you could just see how toxic it is and how it can be as well.
Why do you think that is then? Do you think it's because we're nerds and we don't like confrontation? We don't like it. No, I'm all right.
Yeah, sort of.
Is it not because you can actually play FIFA? Like, is it that? Because like, at least with us.
But what do you think is that way around though?
My thinking on it. If you're playing FIFA, like if you're playing actual football, the accountability is you. Like if you can't do it, you can't do it. Whereas at least with FM, we can blame something else because we're not actually playing the game. So is it that maybe? Go, my computer did it differently to your computer.
Yeah, it could be, you know. To be fair, yeah, you might have something in that.
Whereas like if you're physically, like if we're playing each other and you beat me, I've got to take that defeat that you have physically beaten me, and I've either been well beaten or I've made a mistake myself. Whereas on FM, I go, I
don't know. I just find it's the sort of person as well, though. Like it's not just it's like it's the sort of person as well.
Do you know what?
They tend to be like FIFA, very loud.
Playing FIFA made me angry, an angry person.
Yeah.
Whereas Football Manager, I feel like
okay. No, I don't know why I'm agreeing with you because people. Chill out, mate. Okay, hold on, Aaron. I'm doing great. Like, yeah. I was like, wait. If anything, it's the other way around.
I'm just making my new YouTube video. FIFA made me angry by Aaron Falloon, but it's all FM videos, and I'm going, oh, he's getting really angry on this as well. Clearly.
What's the worst thing you've done on FM? Like when you got angry, have you done like some daft, like through your laptop or anything?
Nah, it would be bad words at my parents. It's that sort of thing, yeah, when you've just lost a game and then the parents are like, oh, calm down, it's the game. And it's like, yeah, F off sort of thing. It's one of those where like, it's the moment it came out your mouth, it's like, oh, fuck. Football Manager, I'll see you tomorrow.
I've got this one from Wednesday. So when we did our last stream, so I'm in the I was about to potentially get into the Champions League qualifiers for the first time on my save at the minute. I'm doing a builder nation in Greece, and I was so close. It went to the last game of the season, right? And we didn't make it. But leading up to that point, I said to Aaron, like we're back and forth with like voice notes this week. I hadn't lost a game 3-0 all season. Yet I'd lost 3-0 games in the last 6 matches. I'm like, no way, and I'm losing my mind. And Mrs. J sends me a text message at 5 to midnight saying, I appreciate you're not having a nice time, but if you wake the kids up shouting fuck off, you'll be relegated to the stage.
You got the same message. You got the same message. The same message.
That is incredible.
I didn't even get hot milk that night. That's how fuming she was. I didn't get my usual hot milk. That's how fuming she was. I got the same message, yeah. But yeah, my daftness, yeah, my things is like, but because it can affect my day, like a bad Football Manager day where, yeah, so that I don't know, you know, some people can punch a hole through a wall, but they those sort of people recover quickly. Me, like my whole day is just I play Football Manager at 9 o'clock in the morning. If I've lost a big game and I turn the game off, then my whole day is just ruined.
Right. Here's again, this is a little bit behind the curtain, right? Okay, we had another episode booked on. So normally we record on Thursdays, right? Our listeners will now know Thursdays, because so the way we stream, we obviously will give like sort of our sort of viewers and our audience a little heads up and go, right, we're interviewing such and such on Thursday. Any questions for them? And we'll try and sort of like move it on. So we were going to talk to a guy called Mad FM, who's a blogger. He does another podcast. Shout out to the 5-Star Potential, of course, about his Legionnaire save. And we're all set. And then Mad, unfortunately, couldn't make Thursday. All that had happened on Wednesday on my stream, and the same on Aaron's on Wednesday. I get a text from Mad saying, "Oh, sorry, I can't make it. Hope I've not let you down." I was like, "No, don't worry." Secretly going, thank God for that, because I need to get back on stream and fix what I'd done wrong last night. And I rang Aaron, and Aaron was just like, I'm so glad you've said the same thing. So we both streamed at the same time on Thursday night.
And then my whole chat's like, you lied to us. You said you wanted to stream. I was like, no, I'm sorry. But that's how bad I am. So if you do, like, anyone listening, if they do go back and watch, just go to my Twitch and you will see it. Like, I was streaming in the morning, and if that's ended badly, without a shadow of a doubt, you'll see me that same evening back on stream, and we're redeeming ourselves. So it's so bad. Like, I don't know. And it's that thing as well. Sometimes I find it's impossible to turn off the game on a loss as well.
You can't do it. No.
But when you're on that losing streak, man, it is horrible. You're losing and they're just carrying on. It's getting past 2 o'clock in the morning thinking, I've got to win. Then you win one, you're like, all right, I need to prove this wasn't luck. Like, I need that winning streak and I need the bounce. It's horrible, man.
So you've just gone back to one of yours, Jack. Again, it was something that we were going to talk about leading into the show. Is that going back to a save?
Yeah.
Because you're not smashing through 24 at the minute. You've gone back. You got on the DeLorean to FM 21.
Yeah, I put a tweet out a couple of days ago saying it feels like I'm playing Tamagotchi. As a 30-year-old man. I just go back and just not feed them, but I just give them a run out. Just I don't want them to die. Do you know what I mean? I just give them a little run out, give them a bit of team talk, and then be on my way. But FM 21, I go back to this save all the time. I don't know. I felt like I've built a connection with this sounds so sad. I built a connection with the players.
You're in a safe here, Jack. Don't worry.
I know. I'm sure there's loads of us. But yeah, I built a connection with these like regens. I always buy them like 17, 8 euro. They have to have a good name as well. They have to have a good. I don't know. Am I on my own here when I see a regen? He's really good, but he's called like a really crap name. I just don't. Yeah. It has to be like a really good name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this is my starting 11. This is my starting 11 now, right? I've got Gabriel up front, Ricardo Cuevas on the wing, Christopher Dux on the other wing, Ahamada, Fernandez and Wolfarf.
I like the sound of him.
And my back four is Hernandez, Juan Pavillo Sandoval, Renan, and Carlos Estevez. And in my nets, I got a guy. He's not even that good, but I like his name. Remember Habbo Hotel as a kid? Did you ever play Habbo
Hotel? Oh, yeah. That was
man. So he's called Habbo. Amazing. He lets in loads of goals, but he's got a good name. So
I do get that though. Yeah, a region has to have a good name, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I liked FM 21 as well. I like the
game as it. Yeah,
I just liked the game. But a bit of
sometimes some games just stick with you, don't it?
Yeah.
What's your goal then? Which one's the one that you go back to that you hold on the pedestal? Like, what version for you is like?
Do you know what?
The best one?
Yeah, 03, 04, Championship Manager, because it was my first one. I think the simplicity of it, the players. I don't know. I don't know. The more recent ones are a bit too complex for me. Like. It's hard. Used to as streamers, you this is your thing, like this is your thing. But like when you got, I don't know.
You say that, but we see it. Like you say that, but we also notice that. And one big eye opener for me, it's when I'm streaming and people's coming in the stream. Like you get a new person that's only just started playing up FM, and they're asking certain things, or they say, "How are you moving so quick?" Because me, I'm just like boom, 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 boom. I don't even have to read things. I just know where things are.
Yeah.
And it is that sort of thing. Is that some people, even the other day, someone was like, "How do you search by personality?" And to me, it's just so easy, but sort of thing. But now is where it's like, it's actually a few buttons. When I was like showing them person, I was like, "Oh, actually, you play a search. Then it's this button. Then it's this button. Then it's this button." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." It is kind of complicated.
I bet you guys are proper buzzing for the next FM, the FM 25, because obviously the new features, it's got to blow up, man. It's got your views should go. Oof. You should.
See, I'm excited about that a little bit, but I'm also I don't know, man. I get so wrapped up. Football Manager's real to me, so like in my head, I'm still in FM 24. I've got unfinished business, and I'm always the same thing to the chat. Like I'm not even thinking about FM 25. Like the thought of it sounds nice. It does. Yeah. But we're still fourth, and we ain't won the league yet, so I don't know why you're asking me that question. That's sort of my thinking, yeah.
Mate, I'm already researching my non-league teams now. I'm thinking about who I'm going to be.
But this is the thing. I think people are now doing that now because we are.
Oh yes,
I'm very much a long-term saver. I know you're similar, Jack. Like Aaron, he's got a new save every episode. Like, during the episode, he's got a new save. Like so I am thinking already, going, I quite like this building nation I'm doing. Right, okay, maybe we'll do the same next year. Okay, what nations, what teams, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like. I'm very invested in FM24 at the minute. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying my save, and I've tried to say to my people going like, look, I think there's a difference between playing FM and streaming FM. Like, because for me, like, I'm not trying to use all these like little gamifying tweaks and stuff that you can do to make, you know, the game winnable and all that sort of stuff. I'm telling a story. I'm entertaining. Like, FM's kind of on in the background, really. And when 25 comes out, like, yes, there's gonna be so much stuff that could be amazing and could be fantastic, but we also have to remember it's a brand new game, so there is potential that it's going to take a couple of versions to iron out some of the new issues that might come. And we've not really had a new game for 10 years per se of like a brand new build, so I'm kind of trying to keep, like, a bit like Aaron, like, keep my expectations as they are. I'm going, all right, look, let's just see what happens. I'll buy the game anyway, because that's what I do. It's been the last 30 odd years of my life. There's a chance I'm going to just go with FM25. Oh, what's that, FM25? Yeah, right, press the button. You know, otherwise, let's face it, the podcast next year is a bit difficult, right? But I'll still play it. And I mentioned on another one of the Patreon episodes that we've just done with FM Girl, and I said at the end, I asked her a question, and Jack, what do you think about this? I don't want FM to be perfect. As weird as this sounds, right? I don't want the game to be perfect, because the idea is that obviously this is a simulation of real football. Real football isn't perfect, right? I don't really like real football either. I'm getting a bit, I'm fed up with it, especially at the elite levels. It's all a bit nonsense, right? I like the fact that FM is a little bit different and it's a little bit quirky, and some stuff works and some stuff doesn't work. Yeah, because I'm in the storytelling business, and for me, if it's perfect, it's too clinical and it doesn't work. It has to be imperfect.
I like the imperfectness. I think perfect example. I play 2D still. I'm not bothered about the realistic graphics. I like storytelling. That's my bread and butter. Okay. I like to create. I have a thought in my head when I see these 2D dots playing. When they're taking a shot from 35 yards, is it the inside of the foot? Is it the outside of the foot? How are the body? What's the body position like? I storytell in my head all the time. That's the thing I find most attractive about FM is the storytelling. So even though there's going to be a new match engine next year, I'm gonna hopefully they keep 2D. If not,
they should.
Get a strongly worded email from Jack Kenmare.
I would imagine there would be. And like again, the graphical side of stuff for me, Aaron, you're a bit like me as well. Like, like I only really have it on there because I'm streaming. If I was at home on my laptop, would be 2D. Like, because that's how I see the game as well. And you're right, I just play the bits in my head and that's how I do it. But if it's on stream, then I sort of go, oh, people probably want to see what the football match looks like, so let's put the football match on, and that's how we'll do it. So it's very much a creator's thing.
And even in my head as well, sometimes, obviously, I have like no connections with S. I don't work for them, but I also sometimes, like, you know me again, Foot Manager. It's probably just a bit too serious in my head. Sometimes I like to go above and beyond, and I like to think at times I'm an advertisement for the game. So in my head, I've got to try and put the game in a good light, if that makes sense. So if you watch a tactical video with me, I would never ever point out a fault within the game or anything like that. It's all about what you can do in the game. I show you what you can do in the game, and it's all clips and it's all just based around, oh my God, look, you can literally play like Pep Guardiola and Football Manager sort of thing. So it's just like an advertisement. Streams sometimes are a bit different when I hit the woodwork 8 times. It's a bit different. It gets a bit mad, but I like to think though, that's the sort of cap that I've got on a lot of the times. And again, even going on my Twitter, I don't have this like whole load of tweet where I'm just bashing the game and pointing out.
I think a lot of people are the same as you, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's such a positive community, because
like you try like it's like you're protecting it a little, sort of thing, And it's even like when FIFA players play, it's like I'm a bit wary. Like I'm watching their streams, like I'm just waiting for someone to say something about the game, like something negative, so I can just jump in the comments and jump back. But what I have noticed a lot of the times, like what you said about the game being a bit complicated, is that a lot of these people do try out the game, they do like it for a bit, and then it's like it starts to get a bit too clicky for them, too buttony and too spreadsheety, which I'm guessing or assuming FM25 could possibly start moving away from that. So FM25 is a bit daunting for me because a lot of us are going to be learning the game again, because apparently the whole UI, the interface is all being ripped up and redesigned. So a lot of the stuff, us finding things is not going to be. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting
the thing as well. So you've then got like other bits and pieces, like the skinners, like the people who do graphics and stuff, who are redoing skins. At the minute, we know there's loads of people doing great skins that come out and allow you to play the game in a different way. Like, obviously, shout out to people like Musterman who can do attributeless. We've got WTC making great work. We've got Saz making great work. Renzi, Tato, all these people that are making incredible skins. Statman has got a cracking skin as well. That's just different from the original vanilla. But now it's a brand new UI on a brand new engine on Unity. All these skinners have got to learn, if they don't already know, how to use Unity. So from day one, there's not going to be skins. It's going to have to be vanilla from day one.
It's going to be lots of things, isn't it? Even like logo packs and stuff like that. Just it's not going to might not just be a simple just download it and put it in this folder and stuff like that.
I mean, you know what? I still don't download the face packs because I don't know. I feel like I play on a laptop, you see, so. It already sounds like it's gonna like blow away. Like it's when I put more stuff in, it just feels like my laptop's gonna blow up. It just gets really hot. I don't even bother.
My answer to that was always I could just play Football Manager instead. Like, why am I gonna sit there waiting for these things to download when I could just literally just play the game? But I get it for that. It's the visual thing, like logo pack, face pack, skin. Even skin. When I first started this stuff, it was everything was just how you got the game, and then it was like people that. Oh, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Oh, what space does this? Oh, Lelujo does that. And it's just like, okay. But now I'm in that sort of business where you're not competing, but obviously for people to be entertained and keep that viewership up, these are the certain things you've got.
I've got a bit of a question, right? Who is the FM GOAT YouTuber?
Very quickly, while the show's on, have you remembered, if this is YouTube, to hit like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and leave us a nice little comment as well, because that really helps everything out. Makes the algorithm pick us up, puts us in front of more eyes. That'll be great. Gives us a bit of conversation to go with as well. Obviously, if you're on Spotify, just subscribe on Spotify, leave us a little review, leave some comments on that as well, and join the Discord. Come and get in the Discord. Come and have some conversation. That's where it all happens. There's loads of people having some great stuff in there. We can talk tactics, we can talk game modes, we can talk player searches, we can talk real football, we can talk anything over in the Discord. So all those links in the description below. Basically, it helps us. It really helps us get the show in front of the most eyes possible. So if you can do all those things, that would be awesome. It'd be much appreciated. But yeah, back to the show.
I've got a bit of a question, right? Who is the FM GOAT YouTuber?
Zealand for me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll go for work the space.
I'll go work the space as well. So this
is the thing, because you lot would know work the space from before, right? See, I didn't know Football Manager content was a thing when I was doing it. So when I started, what was it, FM 21 or 22, and I was on a blog page, and I was talking about tactics, and then I had FM Scout message me like, "Why don't you should do a video?" I was like, "I've never done a video." Like, what the hell? And it was a weird request, in my opinion. It was a weird request. Like, why would you do a video on Football Manager? Like, what the hell? But I just did it anyway. And it was like, that first video blew up, like, just like 100,000 views or whatever. Like, very soon, though. Then I was like, oh, people watch this sort of stuff? But I remember, like, asking him, like, what do I say in the video? Like, what do blah, blah, blah? Because in my first few videos, there was no, subscribe to my channel and blah, 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 blah. Because I didn't know, like, any of this thing was a thing. So that my first people, when I had to start watching it, was like Bust. I don't know if you're familiar with Busternet or Dowager, his name is, but it was like tactical videos, and that's where I learned from. And then that's why I started noticing people like Work the Space and Zealand, and that's what Zealand for me is going to be the goal, because at that time I came into it, he was just like, everyone's like, you need to be like this guy, sort of thing, yeah. Yeah.
I think for me, I think Jack's sat on the throne at the minute, but Zealand's definitely got there with the prods, and he's doing. I think because he's doing stuff that's just so different.
Yeah, that's
just so different. He came out of nowhere, completely out of left field, and taking over the scene that way. But Jack, why did you go for Jack? I guess
I think his storytelling is just elite. Like the fact that. I like when he goes on an away day, he goes on Google Maps and he shows you around the stadiums. That's the stuff I love.
Yeah.
I just think he's really articulate, and I feel like, and he's got a pattern as well. Like he uploads at 12 every day. I have my lunch break at 12, so I'll whack him on while I'm having my lunch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he's a really good storyteller, isn't he?
Yeah. I think that's what you need to be, and like we've said this before about like you're either in Aaron's camp where you're learning something, and Aaron's showing you how to do something about the game, or you're in my camp where it's like, hey, let's all hang out and have a nice time, and like we're doing this story. Oh yeah, we lost the title, like that sort of thing. I will shout out Llama as well, because everyone, whenever we have Llama on the on the show, our inbox is just flooded with like, Llama's a goat. Llama's not a llama, he's a goat. Like, honestly, if you've not come across him, Jack, definitely go and check him out.
I will do.
There's stuff, if he doesn't know it, it's not worth knowing. Seriously. Like Zealand got him to do a video that was pick a team from every nation in Europe, and it was as obscure as you could possibly get, and it was an amazing video. Like so good, so good. So you definitely have to have a look at that. Aaron, Jack said his GOAT version is 03 or 04. What's yours?
I was going to ask this earlier. I was like, I don't have one. I would say I would say Champ 4 is the one that sticks out, and probably my save. Like that's the save. But again, I'm such this Football Manager fan. It's like every year someone asks me what's the best one. I was like, this one, obviously, sort of thing. I'm like always that. But Champ 5 was the only one. Champman 5 was the only one where I thought this game is very skippable. Skippable, yeah. Champ 5. But I think is that around the awkward breakup?
I think it will have been, wouldn't it?
I think that was the breakup.
Oh yeah, I had that one as well. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I'm just looking at I just googled it.
I even was like, okay, it's not good on the PC. My auntie had a PSP. I was like, please, can you buy it on the PSP? I just need this. So I used to go Arsenal away days, and it was like, I need something on my Arsenal away days, and it was like, rather than it being an enjoyable travel, it was like, this game's not good, sort of thing. It used to annoy me that the game wasn't good.
Was that the one that was out on Xbox at the same time as well? Was it that one?
Yeah, I think it might have been the first version where it started pushing out on all a lot of different platforms.
Yeah, speaking about skippable ones, shout out to FM14 as well, which is the slowest. At the time, I was playing on a MacBook Pro, and it was even like no matter what you read online, it was just like don't play it on a Mac. It just doesn't like something about the processors. Like it didn't matter how fast your MacBook Pro was, it was just sitting going, does not compute. Really? And I'm like, I'll show them, and I'm like, no, it's right.
Was that the one with the theme song? Like at the start of the credits, remember there was a song on FM? Was that a later version?
Oh my god!
It was rings a bell. Was that not the one where they'd linked up with Soccer AM or something? It was like the Save Chips campaign or something like that.
Nah, what's this? Nah, man. I remember you used to load it up and then that
song.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
So again, though, this is
intro
another thing.
Screens. Yeah.
Like I only play, and Aaron asked me about this once when I was fairly new to streaming. And he's like, "You've got game sounds on," and I was like, "Yeah, why would I not?" It's because I'm doing, I'm streaming. I've got game sounds on, and loads of people are like, "This is weird," and I'm like, "Yeah, but at home I wouldn't have them on. I'd have them turned off." But
I can't play without it. I can't play without it. Yeah, I can't play without it. It goes into games without that in the background. Like even when I'm playing music and I literally go into the games, but I just need it, and even just a whistle or just the ball getting kicked or something, like I need it.
I need that Europa League music. You know what I mean? That's my banger.
Oh my god!
Oh, it was FM17, that lads. The song, "This Moment" by Chase and Status.
This moment, Chase it. Yes.
This is the moment.
Yes.
I won't treat the viewers to my rendition.
It's Patreon only. That's behind the paywall. Yeah, I think 0102 gets a lot of love, rightfully so. It's that's an incredible version. I think that the best versions of FM probably tie in with the best leagues of football at the time. If that makes sense. Like, because when you watch, so I've got a lot of love for the 93-94 version, because for me, football was great at that point. That's the formation of the Premier League. I'm fully invested. I'm 13 at the time, so like, give me video games. Of course, I'm going to play them. I mean, I'm massive into football. It feels new. It feels exciting. It feels like something's happening. Then there's like Champman Italia, which is just literally Serie A. And heck, me with Italian football in the 90s. Yes, please sign me up. 2 points for a win, 2 foreigners. Like, what a game that was. What a game. And
I think Sunderland were good back then as well. That
well, good as a stretch
compared to now.
Yes. There definitely was a little bit better, I think. 0102, 100%. I think it was amazing. Like, I love FM10, and it's not just for the fact that it was for the story. Like FM 2010, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember.
Not just for the story. I think it was when the 3D match engines started to come in, and it just played really nicely. And again, I've dropped back to the Blind Spartan saves every now and again. We're like 50 odd years in, and just to sort of see how the lads are getting on. And I'm like, oh, I'm 84. I wonder if I'm going to make some weird decisions at this point to play it back. But I feel as though I need to just leave it. I can't touch it because it's just a bit too. It's too pure at that point. I want to just leave it as this thing that never really goes anywhere after that. You know?
FM10 banger. FM10 was a banger. It's only Champ 5. Champ 5 was the only one where I was just like, I didn't agree with that one. That one was easily forgettable. Probably definitely has the. No, actually, I say he's gonna have the least playing time, but I don't think it is. Knowing me, I was like, I would just play a bad game. With Football Manager, I would just play it because it's Football Manager sort of thing.
I'm genuinely interested now to see your game time for the year.
Oh, it's horrible. So at the moment, I'm on 3 hours for FM 24.
Yeah, while recording this show, he's on 3 hours somehow.
Yeah, 3 hours. But that's because literally in the bottom of the screen, I'm still in my offline. I'm in my Tromso save. So.
FM 2008. Or 0708. I think Mad Scientist is just doing it as a database now. I think the actual version itself as the game was very good. That was your kind of your Axel Witzels, who else was coming out at that point? Genie Vidaldum would have been a very 17-year-old player, I think, at that point. Craig Gordon was like an incredible goalkeeper. And yeah, I think there was some absolutely incredible players in that game, which again would made it really fun. Quaresma was still incredible.
Do you know what? I played that recently, Tony. I played that on my. I've got a proper ancient computer back at home in Cumbria, and I've got all the FMs lined up in my room. I was putting the discs in, seeing if they were worked still.
No way.
04, 5, 06 wasn't working, or 7 wasn't working. 08 worked, and I was playing it. The arrows in the tactics board when you just they were the good old days. I was Carlisle, my local team. Oh man, love it.
I'm scared to admit it, but my Steam games start from a certain thing because the ISOs and the PS4. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I was one of those. Unfortunately, those people. So calculating my actual playing time is a bit difficult. But I'm looking at Steam. My Steam starts at FM 2014. And even then, that's 4 hours.
Was that the first one on Steam?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Is it the first one on Steam?
Probably.
FM 2014?
Yeah, maybe around about that time-ish. Around about that time.
4 gig.
I don't think I've done that much this year. I think because what I've noticed is unless I'm streaming now, I'm not playing it. Like back in the day, I would have been playing it constantly, and I would have had it on my laptop, on my knees, playing away or whatever. Mrs. J would be sat watching whatever she's watching on the TV. We'd be talking, I'd still be playing, or I'd be out gigging. So of course I'd not be doing that, but maybe I'd be playing it during the day instead of writing material. Hence, why I'm no longer full-time comedian. But now it's very much just I get on, I play, I get off, we record the podcast, I'd go again. So it's structured now. I feel as though I'm in a structured way. But that's still not to say that it's not in my head from the moment that I wake up to the moment.
I don't travel with that. This bad boy. Do you remember our show as well? Football Manager was coming out. I was like, absolutely no way am I missing this. Taking the laptop, downloading it on the way, playing it in a hotel room, literally waiting for that last minute. But they're like, nah, seriously, you got to leave the room now. And I'm like, man, I've got to get every little second of Football Manager.
What's the maddest place you've played FM? I know, Tony, you played. Did you play at a wedding? I'm sure I interviewed you and you played it.
Yeah. And this is true.
I'm the same. My brother's wedding. I'm literally the same. Playing it. I mean, everyone's having a good time, and so am I.
Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not needed, right? Mrs. J was a bridesmaid, okay, and I was like, and it's one of Mrs. J's friends, so I'm not really needed to. Like, there's no need for me to be here. So I was like, well, I'll just take myself off. Everyone's having a great time. I've got a bottle of wine, right? We'll sit in the room.
The craziest should have been.
I'll load the laptop up, do that, and then she just comes back up. What are you doing? I was like, transfer deadline day.
Mrs. in Labour, but I've seen a few times when their partners in Labour and they've taken their thing. With that one was difficult. I didn't understand that one because when my missus was in Labour, like I couldn't think of anything else apart from the child being born. I literally couldn't at that moment, but I don't know.
That one.
It has
that
to
one,
be a wedding.
I don't know. The difficult thing with that is to remember to load it offline because then you've got your Steams trying to connect and you're trying to get the Wi-Fi in the hospital. That's just awkward. You know what I mean?
Well, we had home births, didn't it? So we had home births. So I actually had the environment to actually play. But yeah, I think I was just too excited for the baby.
I interviewed a groom once who played FM. The actual groom. I think that was a bit too far. I think
I'm on that. So I've already got non-negotiables, right? So my thing, like once the reception bit's done, once we're married and everything's done, we're out. They throw the bouquet, everything. I'm Arsenal top. Also, all of us are wearing Air Forces as well. So that's just
nice.
That's always been my dream. Air Forces shoes are so uncomfortable. So we're wearing Air Forces, and I'll be 100% playing Football Manager. That is 100% part of the day
on a big screen.
Yeah. Well, the tables are going to be. The tables are FM. It's going to be like FM 10, FM 11, FM 12, FM 13. That's the table arrangements already.
Put the tables in a 4-4-2. Do it that way.
So at first I wanted Arsenal player names, but given there's four of us, four brothers, so someone else wants that. I'm just gonna have the Football Manager tables. Yeah, gonna be FM 11, FM 12 table, and I'm 100% playing FM. It's literally part of my the mother-in-law, the father-in-law. Everyone knows about it. Like, it's very bad. I'm trying to explain this. It's generally bad.
You've got to feel sorry then for the people who now find out they're on FM 14's table. They're just like, you were literally here just for when we didn't want you here. So, I'm on FM 14. I've never been so insulted in all my life.
I found this interview actually with this groom. Look at the picture. There he is.
She does not look happy in that picture.
She does not.
Okay, I'm gonna have to arrange it. Yeah,
she's not happy.
Do you reckon he played it when they were filing for divorce as well?
I'm 100% making sure ours is agreed first.
What about yourself, Jack? Where's the weirdest place you've played?
Oh God.
First I thought you meant like as in like league. I was like Latvia.
Probably like the toilet. I'm not adventurous really. I'm probably on the toilet. I don't think anywhere interesting, to be honest, because I don't play mobile. I just play on my laptop. So I don't think anywhere interesting, sadly.
I think it has to be that. Just like I said, that was only because of the fact that we were staying over. So I was like, laptop's with me, right? As I say, I'm not needed.
Yeah, I was similar. Because because we was traveling. Yeah, it was like I had the laptop. I might as well just open it and play it. Everyone's dancing. I'm not dancing. Everyone's drinking. I don't drink.
I don't understand anyone who's like in the middle of their driving test has a laptop on the front of the car. Like, oh yeah, I did that. Like, no, you didn't.
Oh my God.
Did it during my GCSE exams? No, you didn't. I know. There's a few people have had situations where they failed their GCSEs because of it. I know of a couple of people who have claimed that that's the situation. And it's like
it's definitely hampered. It hampered my A levels.
Yeah, I would say it's hampered my result. I wouldn't say it's hampered 100%. It's not even a question. There's like literally some sessions I will just have no interest in science. I just do not care. But my head is just in Football Manager. Yeah, I was pretty. Yeah.
I remember sitting in the classroom, like when you created your like a transfer wish list.
Oh my god! I was just about
to say the back of your school book is just like formations and wish lists, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mine just literally because obviously back then it was lines, isn't it? So mine was like just thinking of new ways. It was just like creating lines and stuff. Yeah. Oh my god.
Good times.
Wow. Good times. You say good times. I've literally still got a notebook right in front of my face, and I still jot things down. Oh, I love that. I still jot things down. I'm bad with it, man.
Yeah. So how often do you guys? How often do you stream? Then does it vary day to day or?
I try for 3 times a week. I always say during stream, we stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and sometimes Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
I was gonna say this is again. It's just this episode just gonna make me sound like a big loser. But so I actually had to stop. So I'm mainly a YouTuber. That's where the main income comes from.
Yeah.
But I had to stop streaming because it got to a point where like I'll be streaming now, get to like 1 o'clock. Go sleep, wake up, the kids, do whatever, freshen up, and then 9 o'clock, I'm streaming again in the morning, all the way to 1 o'clock, during the day, doing with the kids, come back, stream again. So that was my thing that I just kept streaming, and then I'm finding excuses to stream.
Yeah.
And then it really got bad. It started it literally affected the household income. So I literally had to stop it. Everyone says, where are you? I'm like, I can't. Like, I know you lot, you're going to make me stream. And because I stream 2 times a day, you're going to keep asking for it. I just can't come back. And then one day I was like, you know what? All my YouTube's prepared. It's all organized. Let me just have one look. This started on Tuesday. I started streaming on Tuesday. I'm already 10 streams already. And we're only on Sunday. So yeah, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad.
I think it's trying to strike that balance, isn't it? Because you can easily get caught up in it. And then you realize you've not done anything else with your time on an evening.
Yeah.
You're not seeing your partner, your wife, or whatever, or like, and then they've got the podcast to do, we've got Patreon stuff to record. Apparently, I'm meant to relax at some point and not do work, but I'm getting tested for ADHD. I don't think that's even a thing, right? So, I did. You know what? This is the thing, and Aaron, you'll pick up on this. I did a gig on Friday night, and I had streamer guilt. I felt bad that I wasn't streaming. I was like, really sorry, but I'm off to do a gig. And I finished it up and I was just like, oh, wonder when we're gonna do that thing again.
Even that, like, I started going to church for about a year now. Mm-hmm. Today I had to tell the stream that I'm going this morning because I haven't been, and it wasn't because of streaming, but it was because again doing that catch up with the YouTube videos and stuff like that. And that's how much it just takes over. Like even when I've set things aside, I'm like, no, this is definite now. This is non-negotiable. I need to do these things. I'm an adult now. I'm an adult. I need to start doing these things. And then I start doing it for a few weeks and feel good. And it's like, oh, what's one off day gonna hurt? Let me just stay in this time and play Football Manager. Then
I've always been interested, right? So say if an older person comes to you and says, what do you do? Like I get like a 60, 70-year-old, like my nana, she goes, oh, what's like, Jack, what is this Bible you work for? Like, is it religious? Like,
in a sense,
in a way.
So so meeting other parents and stuff, and like they're all of this professional jobs, and then you've got to try and explain what you're doing, and most of them, I would say 90% haven't even heard of Football Manager. So it starts off trying to explain the game to them. And then you're trying to explain it in this healthy way.
Or you get the other way where they go, I used to play that.
I used to play that when I was,
I stopped because I'm an adult, right? And it's now too difficult. So I get the, I guess like trying to explain to sort of like older people, the comedy was hard enough. Trying to like explain stand-up comedy to them. Oh, do you mean like such? No, not like such and such. Like definitely not like that, right? So we do this now, and then with the kids, trying to explain to the kids, like so how we've managed to angle it now is that Daddy does the telly. And that's how we explain we do these sorts of like conversations. God. Right, Daddy's doing the telly, so you can't come and run in through the door. So whenever we do streaming or we do like PvP competitions, which are sometimes like during the day, so it's like effect, so they can obviously just run it in the office, and that's like, oh, Daddy's doing the telly, so like we have to leave. So then they'll put it on so they can see it on the big telly. Like, oh, Daddy's on the telly, so that's what he does. That must be part of what his thing is. So yeah, that's how we've explained that to them. So I found it harder explaining them than I did to
yeah, well, I don't have to explain it like then
I'm guessing your kids will go to their mates. Oh, my daddy's on the telly. He's on the telly.
no. Well, the thing, this is the problem though, because some of obviously the teachers, Google is an awful enemy to someone who has stuff that they've done online, and like the youngest one is. So the eldest was at the in the school nativity plays the last few years and was doing really well. And I was like, oh God, he's got the performer gene, hasn't he? I'm like, I don't know where he's got that from. And then my youngest is in the nursery part of the school, and they're all going, we've seen you stand up. And I'm like, what do you mean you've seen my stand up? Where's the professional boundaries? You're not meant to do that. and then the little one, they're just like, yeah, he's a bit of a joker, this one. I was like, yeah, I think he will be. Yeah. So yeah, they know that. So that's the weird bit when it's like people going, you do that thing, don't you? I'm like, oh, come on, like, there's only you here who knows it. No one else cares.
I just try to make it as glamorous as I can. Like, I try. First off, I always say it's a game, but it's not really a game. It's more a simulation. And then I try to make it more. Like, I try to get real life football. But like, yeah, it's like. So like Man United would use it, and then that's how Man United will create their list of who they know will be the next best person, is because Football Manager then will have their researchers. So I try and explain it not in a very gamey way. Yeah. Again, that's just to make me sound like more of an adult, if anything.
I think the weirdest one I had recently was when I was buying a shirt for the football shirt show, and I bought this shirt from a guy online. And obviously, so I went, all right, yeah, I'll take it. Like, here's my deals and that. And he's like, do you do a Football Manager podcast? I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll have a bit of that then. Thank you very much. So yeah, I was well happy with that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's pretty, like, all three of us, you got to say we're doing, like, we've got great jobs. Like, you play Football Manager, I write about football.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you have to step back and think, fair enough.
Could be worse. Like, even with me, like, it's just so silly. But even with me, like, a lot of the times I do think, like, even when I have a few days off, and again, I have that thing that I shouldn't be doing this. Even though, like, but I've got to this point where now, like, I don't know, like, it could have been a lot worse for me. Like, for me personally, it could have been a lot worse. Even up to recently, like, I wouldn't say Football Manager saved my life.
I'm going to say that.
Please do. That is a good article. That's a good article.
But what I would say is, like, I know that work and the things that I was working in before, even now music, like, music is my sort of passion as well. But I just knew that working in it wasn't like, I was never happy. Like,
it's not good for you.
Yeah, like, I would go out, I'll be outside with my friends, or all this smiley face. Whenever I'm in a work environment, I'm just like so miserable. Because I knew I just don't want to be there, and I know that's not what I want to do with my life, sort of thing. So when this started happening, even though financially I was worse off, but even with the missus, like, the household was just a much better place. I wouldn't say I became a better person, but I became just such an easier person to talk to as well. Even now, like, when I'm working and streaming, the kids come in, I'm just like, oh, just put the kid on my lap. Rather, like, other times, if I was working on music or whatever, I was like, oh, daddy's working, sort of thing, and just brush them off. Now I'm just like, oh, just come and experience this with me, sort of thing. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. So I'm not, for me, it was never like a financial thing or whatever. It's just like me mentally is all I want to do is be mentally healthy. I wouldn't say like I'm completely mentally healthy now, but being able to do this 100% helps, because I'm able to feed the kids, pay stuff, but doing everything exactly what I wanted to do. I'm not content, because obviously I wanted to get into football as well. When you're talking about crazy stories, so I did actually apply to be a scout at Leeds, it was sort of, I don't know, it was sort of just a test to dip my toes in the water, because I knew, come on, like, I'm not going to get the job, sort of thing. But like my cover letter. It's just like just little experience and my videos. I even put back like link there, but it was like a proper CV. But then there was like a little cover letter as well. And I got an email back from them. It's like, yeah, you completed and passed the first stage. I was like, oh, lads. I remember I was streaming. I was like, lads.
It's happening.
Leeds. Have you heard of this guy called Carlos Fierro? he's 38, but he's class.
Yeah, literally. But I haven't heard back from them since, and that was like a few months ago. But yeah, that was.
They're obviously waiting till the end of the season, Aaron. They must be. Yeah. They'll get back in touch.
Oh, here it is. So thank you so much for applying for this role and for your patience. We have now closed the applications and we'll be going through the other process of reviewing and shortlisting furthermore. As this, you've passed the first stage. Literally, it says that as well. We had a great response to our advert and do have a lot of applications to review. So do please bear with us.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Sounds a little bit like I'm going to have to put a job advert out for a new podcast co-host when he goes off to Leeds. Jack, how's your Thursdays and Sundays looking?
Not bad.
Oh, my days.
But I guess that's the thing, man. I mean, like we've got to look at this, right? Like, look back to when we were all younger. If someone had said when you're busy writing lists in the back of your workbook at school that 30 years down the line, this is what we'll be doing as adults. Yeah. We'd have taken that every single day of the week, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like when I got my A levels, I thought I was screwed. Like I didn't do well at all. But I played for Carlisle at the time. Like I was playing for Carlisle United's academy from 12 to 16. Got released from there, but I wanted to stay in football in some way. And literally like the only subject I was, quite a high level at was English. So I thought let's put these two together. Went to university to study journalism and then got work experience at SportBible, and then that's it. I've been there 8 years now. Wow. So it's just go and tell 14-year-old me that I've spoken to Supat Rungrattan.
Yeah. Yeah. That's even like if you say 4 years ago, from this you would have been at 2 football clubs. Like one's actually played in the Champions, like you was in the Champions League qualifying. You've been, you know what I mean? Like even the work that I've done, like when I'm looking back at that, when you're in it, you don't have that time to sit back and blah, 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 blah. I remember just getting that job and it was like, you're just straight into it. It's like watching, it's like hours of football, hours of writing scout reports and stuff like that. And it's just like, now I'm sitting back thinking, wow, I literally been through all of that, but also in such short amount of time as well. Even down to that invitation to Football Manager, like to them, that's probably just like a very small deal. With me, when I got in there, my heart was just like, boom, boom, boom. Aaron, please do not cry. Do not this sort of thing. And it was like,
it's all about the fact that we don't, like, because obviously we don't see, nobody sees the amount of work that goes into it beforehand. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one knows. Like you turn a camera on, you start streaming. Like, all right, he seems all right. He's pretty decent. Like you don't see the 15-year stand-up career behind it. Like you don't see the 8 years as coming in as like an intern, as a journalist to then be the senior writer. You don't see all your work, Aaron, that you've been grinding out these videos that are like amazing. Even like, when you go and you go, how did you get a job as a scout? Because I've done all this, like all this work. It's not just like day one or here's a job.
It's even something that I'm proud of. But here's another, I guess you could say, weird place of playing Football Manager. But obviously Tony would know. But I had a period of being homeless as well, and it's literally playing in, like, again, talking about that mental thing to keep me up going, to keep me uplifted. It was literally the top level of someone's flat. They had a plug, that the charger thing. So their parent got an extension cord from their bedroom into their hallway, and I'm literally on there, the top floor of the flat, and I'm just got my pillow. My pillow is my backpack, by the way, with like a jacket or whatever in it, just laying down with my laptop on top, just playing Football Manager. Just literally, once I've got that and opened that, I'm just in a different world. And then like all that homelessness stuff, like you don't even think about it. It's only obviously you wake up the next morning like, oh damn, we've got to do this all over again, sort of thing. But even that down to that obviously a lot of people don't really know that. And that's not something that I shout about as well and scream about, because it wasn't a good time for me personally. But Football Manager, again, did help me through that time. And they don't themselves don't really know how much the game means to me. It's only when I tell them, but even when I tell them, it's like, this guy just, it's that sort of thing, just saying it because I'm saying it sort of thing. But FM like really means a lot to me without being that sad about it.
I never knew that. I never knew that about you, man.
I've done one interview. I think it was Mr. Diz, and that was a couple of years ago where I kind of open about it. Yeah, but yeah, it was just it was a weird time for me as well. Because I thought it was one of those people, like when you're sort of 16, 17, you just think, and you're living at your parents, just to sort of think that you're set for life, sort of feel like nothing's going to go wrong. And then one next minute, like, because I don't know, again, my head, when I'm young, my head's not thinking about bills and all of this stuff. I'm just thinking about Football Manager and playing football with my friends in a cage. And it was just like, next minute, it's like, oh, the family's homeless sort of thing. And it was just like, I remember my dad at this stage passed away, but my mum went to her parents, and it was just like, my brothers had somewhere. And it was just like, me, I'm quiet and shy, so I'm not going to ask you to stay as well. That was part of the problem. It wasn't just like I just had no one sort of thing. Part of the problem was me, that I was shy. But I was also just happy with my flipping laptop, not being bothered by people and sort of thing, and just playing Football Manager whenever I could, basically, yeah. So that was around 16 to 17, I think, the ages, or 17 to 18, the ages, yeah, of being homeless. Which, yeah, playing Football Manager. I had Football Manager. Even sometimes I forget about it because I try to, I don't know, I had people around me as well. I said I had people around me. I didn't get to stay in their houses. So, I told my missus this. She's like, but they literally let you sleep in the flat. And I was like, yeah, so what? Yeah.
So would you say Football Manager was like not a safety net as such, but it was a world you could go into and escapism kind of.
For sure, yeah. It was back then, and it's still now. It's still like it's more of a job, but I still have days now where like I don't have a good day, and then it's just like I'm just gonna play Football Manager sort of thing. Shut the door. Sometimes the missus kind of knows what it is already, because she would have seen my mood already, and when that door shut and the music's loud. Yeah, I'm in my feelings. I'm in my feelings. Yeah, don't bother me.
I think that's what it's about, isn't it? It's like, because it's like we've said this before, that everyone's FM universe is different.
Yeah,
and within that universe is whatever you've created. And because it's a story game, because we're storytellers, you're right. Like if you're feeling a bit low and a bit down and you're not having a great time, you can jump into that where things are good and things are different, and it's not the everyday struggles you've got in front of you. And again, we've spoken openly about, issues that we've all had. I've been through therapy, talking about things that haven't been particularly brilliant. I've said on the stand-up show that, I was in a bad place when I was writing the show, and that was like the good thing, the beacon in my life at the time as well. And we know we're not the only ones, and SI know that we're not the only ones, and I think that's great that people are now starting to talk about it and saying this is like, and obviously the pandemic was a big thing. Like people used it a lot during the pandemic to go like, oh, this is weird, and I don't really think I feel like I should feel, but Football Manager, that'll get me back on track. And it was was nice that again that brought people out, and they're very, very open about the fact that was like, things are a bit rubbish, right? I'm going to go and see what L'Oreal are doing at this point, like, and just have that. So it was nice. It's nice to sort of be able to take it.
I absolutely agree. I've been through a tough time these past few weeks, and FM's been massive for me. Just going there and escapism. It's just, I don't know. You're not ignoring the outside world, but just for a few hours, you can just forget about everything, and it's great. It's absolutely great. That Stockport team has got me through some tough times, I tell you.
Yes. when you think about the amount of time you've invested in it, then it has. Like it's 100% like, right, I'm off to do it. And those victories feel more because you know what
they feel real. Like,
you go back to these save games, you remember where you were at the time when you were doing it, and like, oh God, how did I feel when we got relegated? I felt awful, but you know what? It wasn't as bad as what was going on at the time. But then when I won, oh my word, that was the thing that almost like got me into the next bit. Go, right, okay, cool. I can address that. Therefore, I can now go and address whatever else is happening in the outside world, and it energizes you. in that way. And I think if we talk to anybody who's played this game at any length of time, as short or as long as it needs to be, I'm sure those stories come back and someone will have a thing going, you know what? Yeah, there was a moment that things might have felt a bit rubbish, but oh man, that team got me through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just hoping FM25 there's a little bit more advertisement with that sort of stuff as well, helping people. I don't know if you've seen it. It's in game, like in the advertisement boards, like mental health stuff, and so hopefully, because
go on.
No, I was gonna say that for sure. Like, even again, when you're a streamer, a lot of the time people can. I'm very okay with it, by the way. Like, if you got a problem, absolutely do come to the stream and talk about it. Because my viewers as well, my viewership, they're not younger, they're older lads, so they will more like ask you questions and help you as well. So hopefully in the future editions, there could be more help for people as well. Because absolutely, people are playing the game to escape as well, 100%.
Yeah, I think FM. I personally think they should get the community involved more, even on like the YouTube side of things. Like I can write articles about the community and how FM's helped them, but I think FM could touch into the community more and speak to fans more. I genuinely think that. And I brought that up before.
Hopefully, there will be some more outside or more involvement with the community as well around Football Manager. Anyway,
I'll tell you where you can get more involved with the community, Aaron. Send us an email.
Oh,
yeah. Send us it. We'll answer it. Send us an email at thefmshowpod@gmail.com. That's what they need to do in it, Aaron. Or they can let us know via social media somehow. Is that right?
Yes, at the FM Show Pod. We're all over the social media. That could be Twitter. That could not be Twitch, actually. I was just about to say Twitch for some reason. But we are also on Patreon.
Every week he gets this wrong.
It's never smooth, is it? It's never smooth with me. It's never smooth. But you can find us on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/the FM Show Pod. Got that bit right, though.
Got that bit right. That's the bit that we do need to get right. Yeah. Loads of extra stuff over there. And of course, come and join the Discord as well and have a chat. But more importantly, Jack, people need to find where you do all your work, don't they? And find what you're up to. So where can we find you? Where can we find SportBible? Tell us what you're up to and get people to go and follow you.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, you don't have to if you don't want to. I tweet a load of rubbish. No, not rubbish. I'm not a serious guy on Twitter. I just post random videos and talk about FM quite a lot. But if you want to follow me, you can. It's Jack Kenmare _ yeah, just type in Kenmare on the search bar.
I was going to say,
there's not many of us knocking about, so you'll find.
No, and obviously we've got all the links in the description and SportBible as well. Go and follow that
if you want.
The FM channel in there. Jack, I think this has been awesome, man. Genuinely, it's been great to have you on. Yeah. We've been trying to get it done for a while. I feel as though there's a second episode in the pipeline, and I feel we need to talk about the best things and the worst things, or things that you want in the future, or something. We'll get something linked up, and we'll get you back in again. So anyone who's got a question for Jack in the future, let us know as well. Aaron, Jack, I think we can say that one's in the can, can't we? That's episode 41 done.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, guys. Absolutely brilliant to talk about FM widgets. I've been wanting to meet RDF, the actual RDF, for a long time. So it's class to catch up. Hopefully, we get again sometime.
Absolutely.
Excellent stuff. Right, that's episode 41 done, everyone. We will see you all on the next one. Stay safe. Take care. We're back next week. See you in a bit. Bye now.
Want to learn even more about Football Manager? Subscribe to the Patreon. Just visit patreon.com/thefmshowpod. Don't forget to rate and review, and follow along on the socials at the FM Show Pod.